morning, everybody. Wakey, wakey. It's time for Morning Glory. My name is MC Kalia, and I'll be your captain for the next 1 hour, 30 minutes. Let's have this conversation going. Good morning, everybody. Wakey, wakey. It's time for Morning Glory. My name is MC Kalia, and I'll be your captain for the next 1 hour, 30 minutes. Let's have this conversation going. Good morning, everybody. Wakey, wakey. It's time for Morning Glory. My name is MC Kalia, and I'll be your captain for the next 1 hour, 30 minutes. Let's have this conversation going. Good morning, everybody. Wakey, wakey. It's time for Morning Glory. My name is MC Kalia, and I'll be your captain for the next 1 hour, 30 minutes. Let's have this conversation going. Good morning, everybody. Wakey, wakey. It's time for Morning Glory. My name is MC Kalia, and I'll be your captain for the next 1 hour, 30 minutes. Let's have this conversation going.
Good morning to you. It is indeed Tuesday, the 4th day of April 2023. My name is MC Kalia, and this is the Morning Glory Show. It is the most comprehensive talk show in Kenya today. Now, how much first aid do you know? That's the question we'll be asking this particular morning. And to help us understand why you need to know some basic first aid is Courtney Chebet from S.t Johns Ambulance. But then before we come there, allow me to go ahead and explain to you that we're coming live from Dawi Afrique Photography. Dawi Afrique Photography is a photography studio based in Eldoret. So anytime you need anything that goes into photo production or even video production, consider working with us. If you need those nice portraits for your family, then you can also pass by here, take those nice photos, and we'll be able also to do some nice production work for you to make sure that you get nice photos. At the end of it all, you also need somebody to document your events, be it a wedding, a pre-wedding, or anything, any kind of event. Then we are also here for you. So anytime you need anything that goes into video production, photo production, consider working with us. Now, moving on swiftly, I would also want to tell you that if you're ever interested in fashion, if you ever want to learn to dress people to be addressed, you need to walk into D-Square School of Fashion Design. D-Square School of Fashion Design is situated in Eldoret CBD. That is the KTS building, 4th floor. So make sure that if you have anyone who is interested in fashion, let them go to D-Square School of Fashion Design, and they'll be able to learn some fashion and also some bit of tailoring. So they have so many courses. Of course, there's tailoring, there's fashion design, and other related courses. The goodness of studying from D-Square is that when you walk into D-Square School of Fashion Design and Tailoring, just next to it is the D-Square Fashion House, which has been there for years. So that means that the designers inside the fashion house are well experienced. And when you get out of class, you have a chance of learning from the best, learning from the other experienced designers inside D-Square School of Fashion Design. And now let's move on swiftly the conversation. I had hinted to you that you really need to know some little first aid, and S.t Johns Ambulance is now in the North Rift region. So I'm actually going to invite for you Chebet. Chebet is a sales and marketing personnel at S.t Johns Ambulance, and she'll introduce herself, then go ahead to tell us why somebody really needs to know some little first aid. Karibu.
Asante Kalia. So my name is Courtney Chebet, and I'm from S.t Johns Ambulance, Eldoret, for North Rift region. First aid normally is an important skill that you need to know, because you're faced with emergency cases in your day-to-day. For example, you might fall, you might have medical conditions, and you need to know this skill so that you are able to help someone who wants you're able to help someone who needs the first aid. Yeah.
Okay, so in a world where there's so many emergencies, S.t Johns Ambulance are bridging that gap between you, who may not know much about first aid. Of course, they also have the ambulance service. And Chebet, just tell us a little bit about what you do at S.t Johns Ambulance.
Okay, for St. John, we normally train. We normally train on first aid and other health and safety courses. We also provide emergency services in case of accidents or any life-threatening emergencies. We also have volunteer activities whereby we try and sensitize the importance of first aid. So those are the major things that we do. Yeah.
And of course, the name S.t Johns is not a very new name. I think I've had it for some times. And somebody would wonder, why am I saying that you are now in the North Rift region? Maybe give us an history of S.t Johns. Just basically, what exactly, how did it start, and what are you doing at the moment?
Okay, S.t Johns Ambulance started in, our headquarters are in London, UK, and it was basically started as a military organization, so as to provide first aid to those injured people in the military. And in Kenya, it started in 1923, whereby the main aim was to give first aid and also to train the community on first aid. That's how we came to be in Kenya.
So that in 1923, that means a very old organization.
Yeah, it is. It is about 100 years.
100 years.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you now started facing, or rather, training civilians and all that.
Yeah.
How did it start, and how long have you been training civilians, and how is the experience so far?
Okay, the need came whereby there are so many accidents that are happening, and normally people don't have the ability to go to hospital in the beginning. So St. John Ambulance saw a need to have trainings so that people are able to help the the people who are injured or are facing any emergency, so that they can prevent further injuries as they're going to hospital. So that's where we saw a need to also train the community. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
and of course we'll be asking Chebet how easy it is for you to also get trained now that they're in the northern region.
The people who want to get training. So the only requirements we need is your phone number and your email and your name. So we train anyone who's willing to get that knowledge and skill. So there's no limit to training, to finding someone who wants the training. We train everyone, any person who can understand English, Kiswahili. We train all of you. Yeah.
And of course, I was, when you were having a small chat with the Courtney before the show started, she told me that she actually started doing this in school. Tell me about the clubs, or rather, what you do in schools.
Okay, we have a safe school initiative whereby we recruit the students who are interested in first aid. They're normally called cadets, and we train them on first aid. We take them through competitions so that they're able to enhance their first aid, and they're able to have a practical feel on how these emergencies occur and how they can deal with them. So we train the schools, primary, high schools, universities. Yeah, so that's the program we have for schools. Yeah.
And when you say you train the schools, and of course, I want to imagine that it is a club. So does it?
Normally, if we've established, we train at least every month so that they're able to get this knowledge. We take them through activities like camps and competitions. And another thing is we give them first aid certificates once they're done the training. So that's how we carry out the program in schools. Yeah.
Okay, and take us through the other programs that you offer now to other civilians.
Okay, for civilians, there are people who want the first aid skill because of work, and there are people who want to get the first aid skill and become a volunteer. So, for the training, if you want the first aid knowledge because of work or just personal, it takes 5 days to complete it. And so that the people who complete it in 5 days, it depends. If you want to be a volunteer, that's when we'll take you through our activities. If there's any emergency, we call you and you assist us in helping the people who are affected. But if you're not a volunteer, you just do it for the 5 days and you're done. Yeah. But for volunteers, we try taking them we try refreshing their knowledge on first aid, so they are able to help in case of any emergency. Yeah.
And what packages now do you have in terms of maybe trainings? Are there packages, or is there a certain categories of trainings that somebody undergoes?
Okay, the most common packages are the pediatric first aid, which you're taught how to handle children in terms of emergencies. There's the first aid at work, occupational, where that's the basic first aid package that we give people. And there's also fire safety training, where you're able to learn how to deal with fires specifically and how to handle fire emergencies. And there's also emergency medical technician course, which that one takes a longer period, because once you're trained on that, you get to work on our ambulances. Yeah.
Okay. Of course, with us in studio this morning is Courtney Chebet. She works for S.t Johns Ambulance for Kenya. But then as we continue, I would also love to remind you that if you have interest in learning first aid or any other thing, S.t Johns Ambulance are now in this particular region. And so when I say this particular region, of course, we are coming live from Eldoret, and coming live specifically from Zion Mall. They are now situated in Zion Mall. Of course, Chebet can update us on now their activities in the North Rift region. When did you arrive to this region, and what are you doing?
Okay, we in Eldoret, we officially started last year, but previously there were people who used to undergo our trainings, but officially we began last year. And
of course, what activities do you expect in this particular region? Yeah.
Sorry. So some of the activities we normally hold are, maybe we do the blood donation drives, where St. John partners with the donation for blood group. We also go to hospitals and do cleaning. We go to children homes. We volunteer there, and we also teach them on first aid. So there are a number of activities. So those are some that we've managed to do. Yeah.
And you mentioned categories of trainings that you offer as a S.t Johns Ambulance. Of course, now my viewer could be watching and wondering which would be suitable for me if I want to join in. Maybe you've actually talked about I think 4 or 5 that are most common now. Maybe give us details of each of the categories, so that if somebody is thinking of coming to train, or rather to enroll with you, then they may understand what exactly are they getting into.
Okay, if you are in a place where you face a lot of, maybe there might be fire emergencies, the best course to do is the first aid, first of all, the first aid at work. Then you proceed to the fire safety. And if you're working in maybe somewhere that deals with children alone, you could do the pediatric first aid, which will help you handle situations around children. There's also a course called basic caregiver course, which you're taught how to deal with the sick, the disabled, the people who are old, the elderly. So you have to assess where you are, and then you know what first aid you can do. But we can give you more information when you come at our office, so that we help you pick which first aid course you're most likely should do. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Of course, I'll keep on reminding you that we are coming live from Dawi Afrique Photography. Dawi Afrique Photography is a photography studio based in Eldoret, Zion Mall, basement A. So anytime you have anything that goes into photography and videography, consider walking into Dawi Afrique Photography. Of course, let me get some of the feedback we're getting here. Rujma Warijun Elsie. Okay, now Rujma. Okay, that's quite a hard name. She says good morning. Then there is a Daphne Chumba Tesi says good morning. Of course, keep on giving that particular feedback. I'll be able to sample it as we continue to as we continue to have this conversation with Courtney. Now, Courtney, you told us, and I'll go back to that point of now you having been part of the St. John's since you were in high school, right? Do you feel it has changed how you approach situations? What was the experience like for you, and how different is it for those who may have not experienced it? If there is somebody watching, convince them that they need to get into this thing.
Okay, I feel like it was a really enlightening program in our school, because any time there was an emergency, the people, even teachers, and they'll be, and the first people they'll call is the first aiders. So we really made an impact in our school, and also at home, my knowledge I was able to help people, and also neighbors who are faced with some emergencies. And this knowledge really helps, because there's some conditions it's not a must you go to hospital direct. So for example, if someone faints, so you can help someone who faints, you give them first aid instead of wasting time and trying to take them to hospital. Yet you can give them simple first aid and they'll be better. So it really helped me, because I was able to deal with these situations and also help others. Yeah, because some situations you might make it worse because you don't know that knowledge, but since I knew, it was really helpful.
It was really helpful.
Yeah.
And for those you train, what are some of the testimonials that you get? Of course, you get training from companies and individuals about first aid. You've said it's 5 days. I don't know if you have a way of getting feedback and knowing whether the knowledge you dispense out here is actually having an impact in the quality of safety that employees in companies that enroll with you and all that get as they continue their work, of course, because if I come in, is there a way you would know whether this person, is there a way of getting feedback from the client?
Yeah, we normally call them or we email them, and they're able to give us feedback if they were able to use the knowledge and skill in a actual situation. And also, there's some people, when we train them, they've told us the reason they've come for training is because they saw a friend who was trained on first aid, and the way they handled a situation really inspired them, and they got to feel like, I really need this knowledge. Yeah, so we normally ask them, we call or send out an email, or they might call us to give us their own testimonies that, imagine I was able to do this and this and this. Yeah.
So there is actually that way of getting feedback from them. Now, let's, of course, we've talked about the first aid bit of it. Now, let's talk about the ambulance bit of it, in terms of how easy, how do I go about it if I want to really get an ambulance from you people? Or how do you even operate the ambulance service?
Okay, for our ambulance services, we normally have subscriptions yearly. So if you're an individual, you just pay 5,000 only, and you get that yearly ambulance services. You also get offered a free first aid kit. You are able to get a discount if maybe you are not able to utilize the ambulance for that year. You're given a discount the next year. And also, we have the subscriptions are for individuals, they're for schools, they're for families, and also corporates. So for individual, it's 5,000. For family, it's 10,000. You still get a free first aid kit. You get free training discounts. You also get a discount if you are not able to utilize. And for corporates, you pay 60,000, whereby you also get a first aid kit, the large one. And you get a discount on training and a discount on if you're not able to utilize. the same goes for school, where you pay 130,000 and you get also a first aid kit, the the training discount. So you see, if you subscribe to our ambulance, you're able to get all these benefits. Yeah.
Okay, and so that means that in case of an emergency, then there's that possibility of me just calling in, and I get an ambulance coming to to the aid of the situation. Does that subscription mean that in case of an emergency, then I'm able to get your ambulance coming to my place or my facility in case of an emergency?
Yes. So if you've subscribed, or even if you have not subscribed, when you call us for ambulance services, we'll respond immediately. We won't let you down.
Okay, no, I'm asking, of course, now what happens to the subscription? So that means that people who are subscribed, of course, there's that, maybe something like a database or something that, so that if an emergency happens, so you respond with your ambulances.
Yeah.
Okay, and my next question would be then, apart from the ambulance service, so you'd just be able to drop them in the hospital. Are there any other benefits apart from now being able to access the ambulance? What are the other benefits of subscribing to an ambulance service?
The benefits were, you get a free first aid kit, you get a training discount, so that anyone, maybe it's a family or friend, you can refer them to get training, and they'll be given a discount. And also, you'll be given a discount for, the cost. If you subscribe the next year, you'll be given a discount. But the benefits are, you're able to transport someone to where they need to get that care, and also the first aid kit and the training.
Okay, thank you so much for that. That is Courtney from S.t Johns, S.t Johns for Kenya now. Of course, I realized when I was checking your website that your name actually nowadays is S.t Johns for Kenya. A question for another day, though. So if you're actually also interested in fashion and design, I would want to continue referring you to D-Square School of Fashion Design and Tailoring. D-Square School of Fashion Design and Tailoring is situated at the 4th floor of Ketia's building. That is in Eldoret, CBD. You need to go there. Affordable tuition fee and a lot other good things. Now, back to Courtney. Now, Courtney, let's talk about volunteering. You've mentioned it quite a lot, and I knew time will come for it. Now, let's talk about volunteering. First of all, why would I volunteer, and what are the benefits, and how do I become a volunteer?
For volunteers, you register with us, and you say that you want to become a volunteer, so you want to become part of S.t Johns Ambulance. The benefits are, you're able to use this knowledge, you're able to help people, you're also able to participate in these activities. You'll get a certificate which might help you when you never know, you might want to get a job somewhere, and our certificate will help you get some positions where you couldn't have gotten if you didn't have this skill. So apart from, it's just something that will help you. You'll be able to practice that knowledge that you've learned when you become a volunteer with us.
And who can volunteer then?
Anyone can volunteer, so long as you've gotten the first aid knowledge.
So
because you won't because as a volunteer, you're supposed to help people. So you have to have this first aid knowledge to become a volunteer.
My question is it a full-time thing? Is it part-time?
Volunteer is something that is part-time. So we call you when there's necessity, and if you're able to come, we recruit you and you help us in some of our activities. So volunteer is just part-time, but you can also be a full-time volunteer. So that's the couple of trainings that you'll undergo. And for full-time is when you're able to train others professionally on first aid.
Okay.
So,
Okay, thank you so much for that. And somebody now will ask the question, apart from Eldoret, where else are you found across the country?
We are located in Nairobi. That's our headquarters. We're also in Nyanza. We're also in Nakuru. We're also in Nyeri and Mombasa and now Eldoret. Yeah.
Okay, somebody is asking a question about your patient transfer service. Of course, I can't get the exact comment, but I'd already seen that. A patient transfer service, yeah. What does that mean?
Patient transfer is when they request an ambulance. So I'm not sure what the person really wants.
Of course, they've asked about how is your... Let me just get it. It's actually coming through the inbox. That's why it's escaping me. They've asked about how does your patient transfer service work?
So you call us and you request for an ambulance, and then we'll tell you how fast we'll reach your location. So that one, you have to call us in our office so that we organize it better for you. But normally, you just call us and then we see how fast we can access where you want us to go and where you want us to transfer the patient to. Yeah.
Okay. Now, of course, you can now give us your contacts. How can somebody find you, especially now within the North Rift region? Yeah.
So you can call us on 0729.
I don't know if I'll be able to pin that. Kindly kidogo too. Let me pin that for my viewer. Let's do that.
0729 999 558.
I don't know if my producer would be able to do it. Okay, let's do it quite slowly.
0729 999 558.
Oh, I don't know. If any of us has gotten that, of course, you can really help me type it in the comment section. It seems my keyboard is not... Okay, 0729
999
999
558.
558.
And
that will,
our email is eldoret at stjohnambulance.org.
Eldoret at... Okay, I don't know. Maybe we'll really pin that later, because my keyboard is like running away from me. As then, of course, that is how you can find them. Give us the location for your office in Eldoret.
We are at Zion Mall in Eldoret town, second floor next to Eldoret Poly.
Okay, thank you so much. What would be your parting shot, Courtney?
I will just urge you to get this first aid knowledge, because you never know where an emergency might face you, or you might never know where someone might get an emergency problem, and you might actually help them and save a life. Yes.
Okay, of course, that's a message I would endorse. With the many accidents that we've been seeing around, then you may really want to learn some basic first aid. We've seen, and of course, not only road accidents, a lot of accidents occur. There's a lot of, this being a farming community, there's a lot of farm accidents. We use very sharp objects. There's a lot of fires, and in the midst of such emergencies, then you really need that knowledge. Of course, also talking about the subscription there, you need that particular subscription for your family, for your school, and all that. Now, this has been the Morning Glory Show, and of course, until tomorrow, and we'll also be... Actually, tomorrow again, we'll be talking about health, because tomorrow is the Healthy, Wealthy Wednesday. Of course, this came in on the Expert Tuesday, and I thought it would be nice for you to really know that S.t Johns Ambulance are now in the North Rift region. But then tomorrow is a dedicated day for the Healthy Wise edition. Of course, I would expect you to come in one of the sessions and now really train people on how to do, maybe cover a little bit of what you do in terms of practical now, and convince people that actually they need to know this particular first aid, or rather emergency situations, what to do in case of an emergency situation. So with that, my name is MC Kalia, and until tomorrow, see you.
morning, everybody. Wakey, wakey. It's time for Morning Glory. My name is MC Kalia, and I'll be your captain for the next 1 hour, 30 minutes. Let's have this conversation going.